Hello everyone, welcome to the African Language Conversations. I'm glad you could join me. Today I have an exciting topic, I have an exciting comment to respond to. So again, this is part of the reaction series, reacting to comments made by readers to Muthoni Thangwa's article titled Children Should Be Taught in Mother Tongue at School. So the comment I'm reacting to today is was made by a reader. I don't want to say what their name is, but they said, I would love to know which language my kids will be taught in. I am from Bunyala. My dad is mixed, Luo, Luya, who speaks in English and Swahili just like any other Western Kenyan graduate. My mom is pure Alego girl, born in Jericho. In the house, she still shanks at 60. My kids' mom is mixed, Congolese Kamba. We are mother tongueless and automatically have failed in a subject. Balkanization is antique. So very interesting take by this reader. And yeah, so the reader is making is making a claim that his or their family, his or her, so their family is mother tongueless, like they don't have mother tongueless, that they are so mixed. And I understand many Kenyans today, especially those living in urban areas, those living in Nairobi, for example, they feel their linguistic identities are too mixed up. And it's true for many families now. There are lots of families that are multilingual, and that's increasing. So families are increasingly multilingual, and this applies mostly to cities, to urban areas, and other mixed areas. So families are increasingly multilingual. It's not unusual to find a Luo marrying a Kamba or a Luya marrying a Congolese, Kikuyu mother raising kids in Nairobi who speak maybe English, Kiswahili, and Sheng. So yeah, so it's true. So yes, Kenya is linguistically blended, and yeah, it's not, but it doesn't mean that people or kids being born in those families are mother tongueless. I don't think anyone is mother tongueless. So we have to rethink this, the definition of mother tongue. So every child grows up speaking something first. So every child picks up the first language. So that language can be Dholuo, it can be Swahili, it can be English, it can be Sheng, it can be Lingala. So that's that child's first language. And that first language is their primary language of thought, their primary language of communication, the primary language of expressing their emotion. That mother tongue, or that first language, to me is their mother tongue, even though it's not the language, it's not the mother tongue of the mother. So for the purposes of language policy, the purposes of language of instruction, and for the purposes of the article that Muthoni Thangwa wrote about, mother tongue should be understood, or first language should be understood to be the mother tongue. This is for the cities. So don't be stuck in thinking about mother tongue as the language that your mother speaks. So think about this as the language that the child speaks and understands. So yes, all kids have a first language. They all have they all have a mother tongue. Yeah, that first language is their mother tongue. So therefore, they should be taught in that first language. So in the case of city kids, that language for most of them is Kiswahili. So it's not what their mother spoke or what their parents spoke. It's what the kids speak. It's not what one's wife speaks. It's what the kid speaks. The first language is the language that should be the language. Should be the first language is their mother tongue, and it should be what teachers at school used to teach them. That language the kids speak at the playground, the language that they speak at play, that should be what we should focus on. That's what the policy, I think, is targeting. So, and I also want to say that the reader makes a point about balkanization, the splitting up the country. So teaching in mother tongue is not balkanization. Speaking in mother tongue is not it's not divisive. It doesn't divide anyone. Teaching in mother tongue is about being realistic. It's about helping all kids learn and succeed. Teaching Kikamba speaking kids in Kikamba, that's not division. It's not balkanization. Teaching Ekegusi speaking kids in Ekegusi is not balkanization. It's just being realistic. If that's the language that these kids speak, if it's their mother tongue, it's okay to teach them in that language. So in Nairobi and in other cities, it's different. And the language policy is clear about that. In cities and other mixed areas, the policy recognizes the fact that it's impossible to teach kids in the languages of their parents. That will be too much. You can't teach all those kids, or you can't teach the kids in the 40 or more languages, different Kenyan languages. The first language, or the language of play, the language of the playground for many kids, especially from middle class areas, from working class areas, and from slums, the majority of those kids use Kiswahili at the playground. And it's the first language for most of them. So Kiswahili should be the language of instruction in such mixed areas, in cities, in towns, and there are settlements, areas that are called settlement schemes in Kenya. So the language of instruction there is clearly, or should clearly be, Kiswahili. So everyone, in my opinion, has a first language, and that first language is their mother tongue. Kids should be taught in a language that they understand. I agree with what Muthoni was saying, Tangwa, and I agree with the policy, even though there may be issues that I'll talk about that maybe are not very good about the policy. But the policy that says teach kids in their mother tongue, it doesn't say teach them in the language that their mother speaks. If that language, or if that kid is raised in the city, chances are that the language that they are comfortable with, the language that they understand, is not that language that their mother speaks. It's the language that they play or they speak at play, the language of the playground. In the cities, in other mixed, in other towns in Kenya, that language is Kiswahili, and Kiswahili should be the language of instruction in those schools. No one is mother tongueless. Everyone has a first language, or language that they can claim to be their first language. Everyone has a language that they're comfortable with, a language in which they speak, they express their emotions. That's their language. That's the language that they should be taught in. So I'll stop here for now, but please comment. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and share the video. Let us include as many people, or let us pull as many people as possible to this conversation, and let's keep these conversations about African languages going. I hope I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye for now.